There. Okay, so tonight's class, you will need a strap and something to sit on, a bolster, or if you want to sit on a chair, you can sit on a chair. And for the beginning, we're going to start seated, but you can start standing if you would like to stand rather than sit right now. Depends on how you feel. Oh, so hello, everybody out there. So come to sit on our buns. I hope everybody is doing well. So let's just sit, get comfortable. Just think about beginning to ground, whatever that means for you. So just settling in. I really like to sit up on top of something, and I am going to start with my legs in the opposite way that I would normally habitually cross them. So I'm just going to find a nice place to sit. I'm going to find my sit bones. And I'm going to do just a little bit of rocking. So I'm on a bolster that kind of can rock because it's round. But even if you're on a pillow or a rolled up blanket or something, I'm just kind of getting a little bit of movement in my pelvis. So I'm kind of rocking the pelvis a little forward. I'm not going all the way, but just little tiny movements in the pelvis, just getting a sense of the sit bones, the pelvis moving, and perhaps even getting that movement going up the spine a little tiny bit. There's no wrong way to do this. Just asking you to feel your pelvis, imagine the spine, connecting to the pelvis, and just moving and rocking back and forth. And then we're going to find that neutral pelvis. So I'm just going to rock back and forth, and then make my rocks nice and small until I feel that my hip bones and my pubic bone are kind of on that same plane. And I'm just going to let my shoulders relax for now. Your hands can be just down by your sides or on your lap. I want you to just tuck the chin a little so you feel your neck nice and long. And I want you to really relax the belly. And so we're just trying to sit in a place of ease. So if you are trying to sit super straight and it's very uncomfortable for you, then please just adjust a little. Try to take some of that tension away so that you can sit comfortably for a few minutes. I'm just going to take the shoulders and roll them up towards my ears and squeeze the shoulder blades in the back. Hold them just for a second for a breath. And just let them move down. So just imagine shoulder blades moving down your back and into a nice position on your back, nice and flat. And again, come back to the belly. Let it release. Let the face release. And perhaps a little reminder to tuck the chin again. Feel the neck nice and long, but I'm not sitting in tension. And I'm coming back to the breath. I'm letting my belly just hang out. And now I'm going to just take some big breaths, open my eyes. I'm just going to drop my arms down by my side. Take some big breaths in through the nose. And let it out through the mouth. Still just sitting nice and straight, but like I say, with ease. We're not clenching the shoulders back. We're not really sticking the chest out to sit up straight. We're just trying to sit nice and easy, as though you're just a little child. So just coming back to the breath, and now I'm just trying to move into that place with an easy breath. So I'm sitting with ease, and now I want to come into that place where I'm breathing with ease. So whatever that means for you, I'm just going to breathe in through my nose and let some breaths out through the mouth. like to put a smile on my face. Makes you feel better right away. I'm going to drop now the chin towards the chest. Take a breath. Let it out, let your neck just hang. Take a couple breaths. Let the belly expand on the inhale. Come back and watch it come back towards the spine on the exhale. And then we're going to inhale and raise the chin. You're just raising the chin up towards the sky, but without compressing the neck in the back. So I'm not letting my neck just drop. I'm just reaching my chin and my throat up to the sky. And come to neutral. Look over the left shoulder. Tuck the chin. Take a breath. Look over the other shoulder. Take a breath. Maybe tuck the chin a little. And come up. And we'll just do some gentle circles. So we're just going to go around like your nose is going around the numbers of a clock. And breathe. Still sitting in ease. Enjoy this nice slow movement of the neck. And come around the other side, turn around in the other direction. And try to go around about 3 times. Relax the face. It's not like you're trying to reach like the boundary and go beyond it. It's just a nice gentle circles. And come up to center. Now a nice side stretch. So I'm just going to let my left hand come down towards my side and bring my right up and reach, keeping the right buttock down. I got the right arm up. And exhale, come down and come towards the other side. Inhale, reach. Left buttock down, press down. Exhale, come up and on the other side. And then you're just going to kind of round. So you're going to reach and kind of round the spine around and come up and reach. And then get a rounding again. So just a nice gentle rounding of the spine. And reach and come back to neutral. Put your palms towards the wall here or out in front of you. And I just want you to reach the arms back and start to move the arms down and behind, reaching back as you move the arms back. I'm taking some nice breaths here. Taking your hands down to your knees, we're going to come into some cat-cow. So just as we started at the beginning by kind of tucking the pelvis under, so anterior and posterior tucking here. So starting at your pelvis again, putting your hands onto your knees, and I'm going to tuck the pelvis so under, and I'm just going to roll and be very mindful as though I can just roll the spine up like a cinnamon roll. So I'm just rounding through the spine, and the last thing I do is like I'm rounding and tucking chin towards the chest, no pressure. And now I'm starting with the pelvis, and I'm going to start to tuck the pelvis and come, or untuck the pelvis, sorry, and start to move up the spine, nice and slow. The last thing is the cervical spine. You may even want to have a gentle look up, stretching the chin, the throat, and then bring the head down just to neutral, and then start to curl the pelvis under again. And moving up the spine. And one more direction. Big breath in. And exhale, come back to neutral. So tonight we're actually going to be doing some shoulders and hips. But I always like, and when we're sitting, to begin with some nice spinal movement. So that's what we're doing right now. So just moving the spine in all the directions. So we're going to go into a little twist. So again, I like taking my hands onto my ribs and reminding to twist from there. Take a breath. And when I twist now, I'm going to really retract that back shoulder back and kind of protract this shoulder forward and just kind of reach with the arm. And take a breath. And then we're going to come back and we're just going to twist the other direction. So take a breath here. Relax everything. Your obliques are helping you move, but it's not a straining movement. I don't want you to get here and hold your breath. I want you to just hold a slight hold, nice easy breath, retract that back shoulder back, and now protracting this shoulder blade forward, even putting the arm out might help you with that. And take a nice breath here. And then coming back out of that twist and coming to neutral again. So I know we're going to straighten our legs here and get into some hip mobility. You may want to be on the floor. You may still want to sit on something. It's going to be up to you. I'm going to stay seated for now and see how it goes. I'm going to bend my knees a little bit, and that will help you sit up straight. We're just going to do a very gentle, soft forward fold here. So you can have, if that's comfortable for you to have the legs out straight, you can. But if that's not, and feeling like bending the knees a little bit helps you feel more comfortable, you go ahead and do that. And we're just going to try hinge now from hips. So take a breath in, relax your face. And exhale very gently, we're just folding over. So not folding over, I should say hinging over at the hips. So my back is nice and flat. I don't want to roll in my back. And I'm just bringing, hinging at the hips. So just imagining, it's my new word. I think, is it imagine? No, it's imaginating is what Greta says, my daughter says. Anyway, so we're just folding here. And looking down, if you want, I'm just trying to keep the neck nice and straight and just staying with breath, nice easy breath. What I was going to say is you're just imagining your pelvis, and then you're just hinging, the bones are the rotating in the sockets. And you can come up and come down again. So you're not really trying to push yourself beyond. I'm asking really to stay within your boundary right now. And then we will come up. And now we're just going to flex the toes, flex the feet up towards the ceiling. So there's the toes up towards the ceiling. You're bringing, flexing in the ankles, bring the toes back towards you, I should say. And then relax them a little and just do some nice internal, external rotation in the hips. So I'm just not leading with my feet. I'm really trying to imagine again the bones of the legs and the big femur bones moving in the hip sockets. So that's the movement you're trying to get here. And now bringing the heels in a little, and I'm going to get off the bolster right now. So I'm leaning back on my arms, not to collapse into my shoulders. And my legs are wide. I'm going to bring them now a little, I'm going to bend the knee, and I'm just going to do this little windshield wiper back and forth. So I'm just staying, my toes are still staying aligned, or my feet are still aligned with my legs. Okay, and I'm just going back and forth on my heels. So my heels are wider than hip width distance. And just again, feeling this nice mobility in the hips. Okay. Oh, this feels so good. I don't want to stop. Oh. Okay. So now we're going to keep the legs like this, or maybe even a little closer. And now is where you may feel like sitting on top of something again. So a block or bolster. I'm going to try it right now, but I may end up sitting on something as well. So I'm bringing the heels now in a little bit closer. So if we are here and we're really rounding, because I want you to bring your hands into prayer position with the knee or the elbows kind of pressing against the knees or the legs, wherever you may be. But if you feel that you're very rounded to get in this position, and I feel a little bit rounded, to be honest, you can just bring something up, and this actually feels just more comfortable anyway. So if you have something to sit on, this is a little narrow. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring the heels kind of towards us. Now I'm sitting up pretty straight, and that's kind of what I want from you guys. I'm sitting straight. I have my heels are up, my toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And we don't want to go too wide here, okay? And so get situated, nice and straight back. Tuck the chin maybe a little. We don't want the head like poking out. And now I'm just bringing my hands into prayer. And I'm just pushing out with my elbows onto my knees. So my adductors, all the muscles, your inner thighs, you want to be feeling like they're pushing into your elbows, and your elbows are pushing in to your legs, okay? So you're going to stay here and you're going to push, but you're going to try to relax the other parts of your body. So your shoulders may feel really tense, like they're going to want to come up to your ears. I'm still pressing in, guys. So like still press, press, press. Press, press, press. Relax your face. Nice calm breaths. See if you can send all the energy. See if you can just feel. The only energy you can really feel is that energy between the elbows pushing and your legs. And now relax. So if you want to just move your knees back and forth or go back into this little wave here, back and forth, you can do that. Okay, so now we're going to go a little wider. Now you may want to go, because we're going to do this we're going to go do this in little increments. So you're going to know when it's too wide for you, okay? So yeah, you may want to start not too wide. Okay, so hands in prayer, nice long spine. Bring the knees, the heels can be, you're going to know what's comfortable for you, I think. So just nice straight back. And again, we're going to start to push. So you're just pushing in towards the elbows, and the elbows are pushing towards the knees. And I want you to breathe. A lot of action going on, but I never know from your face. So just, oh, I'm pushing, pushing, pushing. Oh, I can feel. Come on, one more big breath. And relax. And just notice how that's feeling now. And again, you may want to move the legs from side to side. Take some breaths. Check in. Were you holding your breath, or did you find it hard not to clench in other places? Okay, we're going to come back again. And now we're going to go a little wider if you can. So again, I'm kind of like, I'm not curling on my tailbone. Okay, I'm not sitting on I'm sitting right up onto my sits bones. Okay, so, and again, now this time, I think I had my feet on the floor. Last time I think I had them up like this, but I think that it's okay to have your feet either of those ways. So again, feet are wider, and I'm going to push, push, push. Breathe. Push, push, push. Not too much where you're going to get a cramp. So breathing. So something like a goddess pose, right? A modified goddess pose. But I like this a lot more because you have that support, but you're still, and you're working these muscles, a really active stretch here for your adductors. So pushing, pushing, pushing. Push, push, push. And try to get one more big breath in. And release and relax. And wow, you may notice that your hips feel like really free maybe, and that you have way more mobility maybe, or easier mobility there in your legs. So just straighten your legs out. Just do some nice internal, external rotations here and just noticing how that feels. So that's a quick little thing that you could do anytime at work if you're sitting a long time or whenever. It's just when you feel like your hips are really tight. So I'm going to get off my block again, and I'm just going to come up and do the same thing, up on the heels, legs a little wider than hips, and I'm just going to rock the legs back and forth. And I'm really trying to rock them back without the pelvis coming up off the floor. And again, I'm not sinking into my shoulders. You want to really be reaching out of your arms. And now I'm just going to bring the pelvis up a little bit. So I'm still rocking side to side, but I'm just going to let the pelvis come up. So like that left, the bum cheek kind of comes right off the floor. It may or may not come off the floor, but the sit bone probably will. So side to side, and then we're going to come on to our hands and knees. Okay. So hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, or thereabouts is like what I like to say, because it's okay if the hands end up being a little wider, if that's more comfortable for you, or maybe even a little head of the shoulders, that's okay too. And let's just wag the tail now from side to side. So let's just feel that nice movement in the hips. And I'm just going to go around and do some nice circles. So again, getting some nice movement around the spine and the hips, in the shoulders. So you just move around in the way that feels really good for you. You can even rock back and forth. So when I'm rocking, I'm really thinking about that movement in the shoulders, keeping the ribs in, not compressing the back, so not dropping the belly to the floor. So this time we're going to go into a downward dog, but if you are not prepared or ready for downward dog, not really feeling it tonight, you can practice the downward dog prep, or just like we were doing then, tucking the toes, coming back and forth. That might be enough for you tonight. Or if you want to not come up into full downward dog, you can practice this reaching your arms out, coming down, tucking the toes, and then coming up. And now lifting up on the knees, so lifting the knees off the floor and just coming back and then forward. You can drop the knees and you can practice it that way. So lifting the knees and then moving back. So you're moving back in that downward dog, pushing the bum back, and a lot of exercise and like really, really not that easy. So if that's what you want to practice there, you can go ahead and do that, or you can come into a full downward dog. So I like to have my legs or my hands quite a bit in front of my shoulders to start sometimes. And I'm just going to tuck my toes here. And again, just move my hips back towards my toes. And I'm going to keep the knees really bent here. So I'm just bending in one knee and bending in the other. So I just want to get a little bit of movement first in my downward dog. So feel free to just move how it feels good for you. I'm letting the head just completely relax. I'm still pedaling the feet back and forth. And now I'm going to come down onto my knees. I'm going to come back into that child's pose, but I'm going to keep the toes tucked. Reach the arms out. Bring the head towards the floor. And take some breaths here. Come back onto hands and knees. And I want you now to come down into your forearms for a forearm stretch. So take the elbows under your shoulders. And I want you to reach the arms down to the floor. So you're just trying to touch your forearms down to the floor. Try to touch the wrists down if you can. And then the backs of your hands, and then opening your fingers wide and trying to press all of your fingers and fingernails down into the floor. Probably feeling like your shoulders are wanting to externally rotate or externally rotating a little bit. It's good. Reach the thumbs now out to the sides, even trying to get the thumbs down to the floor. Try not to hold your breath or tense anywhere else. This is a lot of work. And now if you can move your body back a little tiny bit. That may not be possible for everybody, and come forward. And you can move back again. And move forward. And now we're going to come back up and come into that child's pose again. So I'm going to extend the arms out, but I'm going to keep my toes tucked and come back to sit on my heels. I'm bringing my head where my hairline is and my forehead down towards onto the floor, resting on the floor. I'm taking some breaths here. Coming back up onto hands and knees. We're going to go right into a few rhomboid push-ups. So hands are about underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we're just going to bring and drop the shoulder blades down so that the shoulder blades are really squeezing together, okay? So again, I don't want to drop the belly to the floor. I want the ribs to stay nice and settled against my body. And I'm bringing the shoulder blades, squeezing them together, and then I'm bringing them apart. And then I'm going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and apart. So there's no bend in my elbows. There's like a slight bend, but I'm not hyperextended in my elbows, a little slight bend, but there's no movement in my arms other than I'm getting my shoulder blades to do all the work. So the shoulder blades are coming apart, and now I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together, and I'm squeezing and then come away. And so you can move with your own breath here. So I like to take a breath, exhale, squeeze, take an inhale, and exhale, push. So you can move with, however, you can move as quick as you want or make it really, really slow. I suggest you not go too fast. If you want the movement to come from the shoulder blades coming together and then trying to get the shoulder blades to come apart and together, apart, and together, and apart. And you can go right into that child's pose again. I'm going to reach my arms out, tuck my toes, bring my bum down towards my heels. Nice stretch here. If you want, you can come up onto the fingertips here. And relax. I'm coming up onto all fours. And we're kind of going to come into one more downward dog. So again, I like to walk my hands a little forward. Maybe come into a plank is another way. So if you want to come into a plank like me here, and then I'm just going to move. So bring my bum back, moving in the shoulders. keeping the shoulders nice and stable. I'm also keeping the ribs close in so I'm not arching the back, okay? I can make this downward dog probably look a lot prettier if I just go beyond my boundaries and yeah, and yes, and compromise. Okay, so now if you're still in this downward dog with me, we're going to walk the hands back towards the toes. And as you walk the hands back, you're trying to do it as quietly as possible with the least amount of shaking. And as I move my hands back, I'm actually bringing my bone down towards my heels. So now I'm sitting up onto my heels. Okay, so I'm going to try to come into standing now. So I want to press down. My weight wants to come out onto the outside of my feet, but I'm really going to press down to the metatarsals on my big toe. Okay, and then I'm going to try to come up without my legs like slaying out to the side. So I'm going to try to come up nice and slow, practicing a little balance here. And when you get to the top, you can just stay here for a bit. Notice what your feet want to do. Try to keep the feet in. Don't let them come out to the side. And then come all the way down onto your feet. Maybe give it a little shake. Now let's bring the arms all the way up and up to the out to our sides and up. Reach. Exhale, come down. I'm going to bring my right arm across my chest here and just take slightly with my other hand and just give a little slight squeeze or press into that arm. Notice how you're standing. Open the toes nice and wide. Excuse me. Notice where your weight, even like swaying the weight around in your body is just nice. Just noticing how it feels. And release, open the arms nice and wide. Again, stretch the arms back this time and down. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and bringing the arms down. And now bringing the opposite arm across. And again, just being mindful of your standing posture here. I'm taking some breaths. I like to close my eyes while I do these nice kind of passive stretches here. And then exhale, release. I'm going to cross the right foot over the left, and then I'm going to take the right arm and bring it up. So this nice side stretch. Take a breath in and exhale down. And I'm going to cross now the left foot over the right, not letting I don't want my hips to come along for the ride, okay? So I'm just crossing over here and then bringing the left arm up. Nice stretch. And exhale down. Taking our elbows now into the sides, and we're just going to keep the shoulder blades nice and wide on your back, okay? So you're not like really trying to widen them, but you're not pressing them together. They're just kind of a little bit more on the wide side. And then having your elbows in towards your sides, palms facing up. And you're just gonna open the arms, but you're really trying to keep the shoulder blades steady where they are. So again, just sometimes when I'm standing, I like to even stand by a wall just to remind me of that nice standing posture. And it's even nice too that you may like feel the shoulder blades moving and go, oh, I didn't. So anyway, it's just a bit of biofeedback if you want it to do that. So you're just opening, closing the arms. And now the next time that you have them open, it's just feeling like your arms are externally rotated in the shoulder sockets. Next time you have them open, you're just going to kind of reach. And again, you're just reaching and you're reaching, the arms are not really, you're kind of reaching the arms straight. The arms may not go straight. It's kind of that you feel that resistance as you're opening the arms up to the sides, holding. And exhale, bringing the elbows in again. And maybe you bring the elbows a little closer, or the arms a little closer, sorry. The elbows stay close to the sides. And again, you're just reaching forward. But it's like the shoulder blades. If I let my shoulder blades move, my arms would come out like that. So I'm just opening and holding, breathing. Nice sensation. Again, you may want to be reminded to tuck your chin a little. And then come in and then open again. Probably open as wide as you can go this time. And then reach out again. And just hold. When you reach that place, you just hold there and take some breaths. And exhale. Come down. And shake that out. Grab your strap. So we got into the hips at the beginning and moving into some nice shoulder stuff now. So let's just begin by doing our little, I'm just walking up a little closer so that you can see you have your strap here. And I have the palms, so I'm holding it like this. And then I'm just going to, and the closer, you may want to come a little closer if you want, or just try this first. And then I'm just going to bring my hands around like this. So I'm just wrapping the strap around like so. So that if that was too close or too far, you just may have to adjust. So, or did I do it the wrong way? Oh, sorry, I think I did it the wrong way. I did. Yeah, I think that you do it this way, don't you? With the hands, the knuckles forward, and then I don't think it really matters. If they both open up, the idea is to open up your shoulders here in the front and just let your arms relax down by your sides. And take some breaths. Again, come back to your standing posture. What's happening? We're just getting a nice stretch in the shoulders. Don't have to be any tension anywhere. What happens to your breath? What happens to the weight of your body when you're not thinking about it and you're standing? Do your weight hang out in the front of your toes? And while I'm here, I'm just going to drop the chin down towards the chest. And take some breaths. And again, I'm just going to gently bring my head up and just look up and come down. And now releasing that, taking your strap nice and wide. And we're just going to come over our heads with the strap. So I like to start with it wide. So wide enough that you're going to be able to bring it all the way around. So full circle. So I have my arms straight, you know, my wrists are straight. I'm not like this or anything, just nice neutral wrists. And I'm just gonna bring the strap up. I may have to go a little wider here to come all the way around. Moving with your breath. And now you want to bring this strap up without any help from the ribs. That's the idea. So we're getting this nice mobile. And if you are not able to bring the strap all the way around, no worries. Just work with the mobility that you have and you may get there. And if you don't get there, it's not a big deal either. Okay, I'm going to bring the strap a little closer, bring my hands a little closer on the strap. And continue. Moving with the breath, having the eyes closed if you want. Right from the feet and all the way up, just notice where your weight is. Spread the toes wide. Imagine you have big elf feet. You want to distribute your weight evenly on both. I'm bringing my hands closer together. And you want to, so I'm not going to be able to come all the way back anymore. So I'm just going to go as far as I can go without my ribs coming up, okay? My ribs may have come up a little bit there. Also, I'm trying to bring my arms up without my shoulders coming up towards my ears. So when you get as far as you can, then just take a breath there and come down. I'm going to go a little bit closer now and see what happens. And bring the arms up, no ribs, no ribs. And come down. Also quite the workout on the arms. Big breaths. All the energy going to the arms, to the shoulders, all the musculature tissue around the shoulders. Big breath and come down. And maybe one last time, a little closer together. And coming up. I'm really stuck right here. So I'm going to respect that. That's where I am today. And come down. Take a breath. Exhale, come up. Take a breath. I'm going to open them wider as I got them here and just do this nice side stretch again. It's just like you're between two panes of glass here. Just going down to one side. I'm really pulling the strap apart, okay? So I'm just coming to the other side like you're pulling the strap apart. I feel like doing that again on each side. Beautiful. Come up. Bring the strap down. And you can put the strap aside now. I feel like just giving the arms a little shake. And I feel like giving myself a big hug for that. So let's bring the arms on. I just feel like I need to bring the arms forward now and just hold the shoulders and maybe a little twist from side to side. So we're going to come down now to the floor. So come down if you want to come down in a squat, or if you just want to come down whatever way it's comfortable for you. I'm just going to step down or kneel down onto my knees and come all the way to the floor. Perhaps if you need something for underneath your head, by all means grab that now. And you want a little bit of room for your arms to be like in a cactus position. So like this on the floor. Okay, so we'll come on our bums. And we're just going to come gently all the way down onto our backs. I'm going to have a little something under my head. I want my shoulder blades to be nice and flat against the floor in the back. I'm just going to have my legs bent for now. And I'm going to bring my arms in this cactus position. So just taking some breaths here, getting nice and comfortable. And now just taking the arms up so that the fingers are pointing up towards the ceiling. And now I just want you to bring the hands down towards the floor. And they probably won't come all the way. And then bring the arms back. And now bring one arm forward and one arm back. And you're just going to be making this like one arm towards the floor, one arm behind the head, one arm. So you don't want the shoulder blades to be moving here. So the shoulder blades. So it's just the arms moving in the shoulder sockets. Moving back and forth for now. And now let both arms come down. And what I want you to do is try to reach your arms away from you. So the arms are in cactus. And I want you to reach the arm like behind you. So you're just trying to straighten your arm. So you got the arm in like an L shape and you're going to straighten the arm, but you're only going to straighten it or go as far as the elbow or the side of the elbow starts to come off the floor. Okay, so you can do it one arm at a time to begin. So I'm going to start with the right arm and I'm going to try to reach the arm until the shoulder or the elbow wants to really lift off the floor. Okay, so I've gone too far when that happens, and then I'm just going to come back to neutral again and go to the other side. So I'm reaching the arm. The shoulder blade stays where it is. Like there's not much movement in the shoulder blade. Like we could move the arm where the whole shoulder blade starts to rotate too, but it's not. And the shoulder blade probably move a little bit actually, but I guess I'm trying to say we're not moving the arm this way with the shoulder blade leading the movement. We're just trying to straighten the arm. Oh, feels so good. And come down. My elbow probably did raise a little there. And just take a breath. So when you reach that spot or you reach that boundary, just stop there. Take a breath and come back. So I'm just moving from side to side. Come down. And probably one more on each side there. And when you're done, just taking your hands and probably even one on the heart, one on your belly, and just connecting back now to your whole body, noticing how your hips feel, how your shoulders feel, even maybe some openness around the ribs with all the side stretching and mobility with this around the spine. You might feel a little bit more space in the shoulder blades and the hips. Maybe that's how it feels. It's a little more spacious. So I'm just going to take the knees now and bring them up, keeping the arms long. I'm going to hold the knees with my hands, and I'm just going to roll around now on the sacrum a little bit. Perhaps just go into that nice bigger four right now. So nice stretch for the psoas. So when we bring the knee up, so we can bring the knee up and just place it there, but I really want you to think about bringing the knee up. I like having my hands on my pelvis here, and then just externally playing around with externally rotating the leg first. So in order for me to get that foot there, I'm really externally rotating the leg and hip socket, right? To get the leg there, to get the foot there. So I'm just doing a couple of those first. And now putting my foot there. And perhaps even pushing that leg out now, or that knee out without your hand, just pushing out. And this could be enough of a stretch for you here. If not, raise the bottom foot. Notice what happens when you raise the foot, especially not thinking about it. If you raise the foot, you may want a raise in your quad and your back. Then you're not getting the mobility in the hip and the stretch where it needs to be because you just compensated to get the leg up. So still have that nice arch in your lower back. Raise that leg, and you can raise it just to that point where your back is starting to flatten, or that might even be too far. Just come to that place where you know it's like your sweet spot. And you know, going beyond that sweet spot, you're going into that kind of like iffy territory. So we don't want you to go there. So you can let this bottom leg too, sometimes it gets really tired, you could just let it completely relax. And what's really nice sometimes, if you do have a block, even though I said you didn't need a block for this class, is to put your foot on the block here, externally rotate, up, and then you can even move the block in closer. That's really, really nice. And you're able to really relax much easier than in this pose. And that could even be, if it's not a block, a pillow or anything you have, that will elevate the foot up. I'm going to take that one off now and move over to the other side. And I think I'm going to use this block for me. And now, small arch in the lower back, or your natural arch in your lower back, lifting the knee up, externally and internally rotating the leg a few times. Now externally rotate it, and I'm going to put it here on my thigh, pushing the knee away from me. Even just staying here for a few breaths. And then bringing the leg in closer. And notice if your back really wants to arch off the floor, right? Because we're all connected here. So anything tight is gonna be like, oh, you're gonna pulling the front of the body down. So just notice that with yourself. Ribs on the ground, small arch in the lower back. So if you notice that you're coming up, you may want to push the foot away from you, okay? And release the leg. Probably stretch the whole body out. I'm going to place one leg and one ankle over the other. And I'm just like laying here like that sometimes. Arms can be open and to your side, palms facing up, or whatever last movement you want. Go ahead and do that too. I'm crossing the legs over again. I just like crossing the feet over and pushing out of the heels, but really relaxing all around the torso, all around the back body and the legs. So I'm pushing the heels out, but I'm not clenching. So really getting settled in now for Shavasana. So any last movement you want, and then just getting ready to relax. So get yourself situated for that. And I will sit up for this part. So really letting your body rest into the floor. And so having the intention to rest now. Just all that beautiful mobility in the hips. You're going to rest all of that now. And when you get up from this class, you're going to notice how you feel. Okay? So this may not be at the end of your night. So yeah, you may get up out of this feeling more energized, but if you want to go to sleep and this is nighttime for you, then yeah, you may even want to get cuddled up in your bed. It's a really dreary day here today. So, but anyways, the intention here is to relax, to notice, to come inward. So closing our eyes, letting our whole bodies relax, giving our bodies permission to let go. Especially areas around the hips, the adductors inside our legs, our shoulders. Feeling the spine nice and long. Perhaps if you're laying on your back, you still might want to give that chin a little tiny tug to feel the neck nice and long in the back. Or perhaps put something under your head to get that nice long feeling in the neck. It's perhaps just gently moving the head from side to side. And then coming to neutral and invite all those muscles to let go and relax. And allowing the head to sink into your mat. A gentle smile on your face and space between your eyebrows. Soft cheeks, space between your back teeth. Back of your head soft. Mind the muscles around your throat and the back of your neck and your traps moving into the shoulders to let go a little more. Try to calm the breath. Nice, easy breath. Now with every exhale, you're letting the muscles relax a little more. So around the neck, the front of the throat, traps, all that musculature that you moved around the shoulder, activated around the shoulder, letting the shoulders release and relax. Arms heavy. Fingers naturally curl towards the palms. Face gentle, soft. Your whole back body strong, heavy, sinking into the earth. Letting all the muscles around the back release. Moving down around the pelvis. And the hip sockets. Heavy. Legs heavy. Ankles and feet heavy. Toes heavy. Every exhale, just sinking a little more into your mat. Just noticing the mind wandering. It's okay. Enjoying the breath. Noticing the breath. Notice what happens to the body with the breath, the belly moving. Perhaps feeling the ribs expand on your inhales. And inviting some calm and peace into your evening. Allow your mind to settle. It's okay to be still. And it's okay if your mind is wandering all over the place. It's okay. You're still here. You're still relaxing and breathing and being a little more mindful. And that's enough. I always like to end or think of something that I'm grateful for at the end of my practice, especially in the evenings. I like to think of just even sometimes the little things. So I'll leave you there with that. And And I hope you enjoyed tonight's practice. I hope you have a beautiful evening, and I hope your hips and shoulders and spine